stand the Electoral College. I know I made a video on this before, and some of you guys may have seen it, but this one I want to go much more in depth. This one is more of like a rant instead of a discussion. I'd say many things I'm so open-minded on, but the Electoral College is just one thing that I cannot stand. I think it's disgusting the way it works, and this is ridiculous. That this was one reason why, um, you know, if Pete Buttigieg won the Democratic nomination, I will say that he would have gotten my vote because he stood so strong on this, and this is arguably one of my most heated topics. So I just want to discuss something. The Electoral College, it's complete nonsense. So let's say a lot of people say, why don't we just repeal it and let's just count the amount of votes per person. I'm not really going to go into what I think there should be an alternate solution between both of them. I think it should be awarding delegates electoral votes proportionally. But this is just going to be a rant about why the Electoral College is bad. I'm not really going to get into a solution on this video. But first, let me just say something. Let me say the state of Wyoming, with less than 600,000 people, let's round it 30,000 up. So that's roughly 600,000 people in the state. The state of Wyoming right here, 3 electoral votes. When you break it down, that means one person for every 200,000 people, there's 1 electoral vote. Break it down in a state like California, 55 electoral votes. Meanwhile, there are 40 million people in California. That goes down to roughly 750,000 people per electoral vote. That is over 3.5 times the amount of power in Wyoming. Is it fair that in the state of Wyoming, someone has 3.5 times the amount of power as they do in California? No, that's not fair at all. So here, people say if you repeal it, the states like California, states like New York, Texas, and Florida, because those are the 4 highest populated states, are going to control the election. That is completely false. When you look at the thing, people in the candidates are going to campaign there, yes, and it's gonna, of course, they're gonna put a lot of money on. And people say, wait, but then so you're just going to be ignoring tiny states like Wyoming, South Dakota, Kansas, New Mexico, Hawaii? Well, let me say this: do candidates care about those states at all during the elections with the electoral colleges? Do candidates care about that whatsoever? The answer is no. Is Joe Biden trying to win South Dakota? No, he's putting 0 funding into that. You know why? Because that state doesn't matter. You say that these 4 states are going to determine the presidential election. Well, let me say this. Right now, you have... first off, let me just say that I believe that North Carolina is more of a tilt Republican. I don't believe it's a toss-up as what people are saying. So that means you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states in the 2020 presidential election that are determining the election. How fair is that? That neither Trump or Biden is going to bother putting money into California or New York or Vermont or Missouri or Arkansas or Mississippi or New Mexico or, I don't believe Biden's going to put that much funding into Texas. Like, how fair is that? Those states, their values are being completely ignored. The only people that Joe Biden and Donald Trump care about are the people in these 5 states. Like, come on. We know all the states that are highlighted right now, we know where they're voting. Let's be real. Does anyone actually believe Georgia or Texas is flipping blue? I know there are some people on the left saying, hey, it might. Do some people actually believe that New Mexico has a chance at flipping red? Yeah, there are some people, but let's be real. It's not happening. Or a state like Minnesota, yeah, but come on, let's be real. That's not happening. Both campaigns aren't bothering to put any money in it. So how fair is it that it's just these 5 states determining the presidency? All Biden and Trump are going to be doing is campaigning in these 5 states. And you know what that means? They're going to cater to the views of those people, of those 5 states, because those are the swing states. And you know what happens when you cater to the views of those people? The views of the people in Michigan and Pennsylvania are vastly different than the views of people in California or Idaho or Utah. So how fair is it that both candidate is putting switching up their viewpoints to cater to those and get those people on their side. Why would Joe Biden or President Trump be trying to state a view that's highly popular in Idaho or Oregon, but people hate in these 3 states? Why would they do that? That would just throw the election away. Answer is they wouldn't. It's ridiculous. You have those 5 states determining the election. That's what it is. Candidates are not campaigning anywhere else. So, like, come on, you can't say that, oh, yeah, California, Texas, New York, Florida, they're going to be determining the election. Because that's not true. And if it's a one, if it's everyone gets one vote, I don't believe that's what the new solution should be. But let's say it was. Let's say everyone votes counts the absolute same. And then that puts it where someone lives in Sacramento, the vote counts the exact same as if they live in Yellowstone. Should someone's vote in Yellowstone count 4 times as much than someone who's living in Sacramento just because they live in Yellowstone? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Right? And one vote, if everyone gets one vote, then everything counts the same. Candidates will, of course, obviously be trying to make plays in the highly populated states. Let's be real, no one wants to spend millions of dollars in Kansas where the population isn't that large. But candidates are you're still gonna be having the Biden campaign run ads in Tennessee. You're still gonna be having the Trump campaign run ads in New York or Massachusetts because they want swing voters from everywhere in the country to come together. And, like, it just doesn't make sense. Now, I want to bring you to the next point here. Okay? So, the next point I'm suggesting is that let's clear the map. Let's make this a fully blank map, okay? So, this is a blank map, okay? Let's go to the states with the most electoral votes. So, you have California, you have Texas, you have Florida. I'm not saying these states were going blue. Let's just play pretend. We're pretending. So, you have blue. And so let's say you have these 3 states. We're just going to fill in the most populated, highest states with the most electoral votes until we hit the 270 mark. So let's go. Let's add New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, North Carolina, Georgia. That's 271 right there. Okay? How many states is that? Let's count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay? Now let's say every single one of these states votes red come November. Obviously, this will never happen, but let's pretend it does. Okay? So you have all of these states vote red. Every single one of these states. So once I fill these in, I will be discussing this, okay? So these states that are all in red have a population of, putting them all together, of roughly 200 million people. Let's pretend everyone in every single one of those red states comes out and votes. And everyone, the whole population, every single one of them votes for President Trump. Okay? That means President Trump has won 200 million votes. Let's say everyone in every blue state, not a single person decides to come out to vote, except for one person. Just one person in the entire state. And that one person votes for Joe Biden. In these, 13 states, Biden will win the election, even though Trump got 200 million votes compared to Biden's 13. Yeah. Does that make sense at all? No, that's what this Electoral College is. It's ridiculous. I don't understand this. It makes no sense. I could go on and on for this, but I'm going to end this here for the sake of time, and I'm sure you guys don't want to be watching a 4-hour video on why the Electoral College is. So just drop a comment of what you think in the comments, and do you agree with this? I think they should really be going proportionally. I will go into a video deeper into this maybe if you guys want, but if you guys like this content, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and it really means a lot. But thank you guys.